All right, we are live.
Fire with Dad.
Fire with Dad.
Fire with Dad, baby.
Louise.
You've got to wait till he says it.
Oh, okay, say it.
Okay. Take two.
What's going on, everybody? We are live. Fire with Dad and Louise. That's me.
Fire with Dad, baby.
This is not my dad, but it's Fire with Dad.
Fire with Dad.
Do we have any proof he's not your dad? I mean,
No, we don't.
I don't have any documented proof. I mean, Luis, you could actually be my brother. We look just alike.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I get mistaken for a Puerto Rican guy all the time. What's up, Fire with Dad? We got a special guest when Luis is in the house. You got to have him on Fire with Dad. I pulled him away from his duties. He was back there grinding it out, making it happen. Dad, you got to get on your phone now? Like, we can't have your undivided attention?
I'm putting that on mute.
It's like I got my 16 or 7-year-old son with me, and my daughter at like dinner's like on their phone. He's over here on TikTok, and he's like dancing. And
we were dancing at lunchtime though on the way back with the Beach Boys.
Yeah, we had the Beach Boys rocking in the car. So, Dad, today's topic, and I think Luis will get a kick out of some of these stories, and I don't know all of them, but I got one to start it. Last week we talked about your marketing of Plapp Insurance when I was a kid with the ugliest freaking uniforms in the history of the world.
Cha-ching.
We looked like little aliens, green and yellow. Wasn't there a little like a cartoon character alien guy, like green and yellow?
I think so.
Martian Man or something. So I want to talk about other stories. And one I remember, and I actually told this yesterday to Shatsy when we were talking on my interview about when the guy owed you money and you got a school bus instead of money. Remember that? When he owed you money and you, instead of paying you the money, he gave you a school bus, which who the hell gives people a school bus? That's you got some weird people that owed you money back in the day. But
I got some crazy stories about those things.
Okay, but he traded you the school bus, and I'll never forget when I was playing for the Erlanger Lions. And this is to me like inadvertent marketing because people remember people for different reasons. Like I'm remembered because of my orange shoes and the orange car and things like that. And people in our community, when they think of restaurant, think of Matt Plapp. You always want to make an impact with insurance with Dwayne Plapp. And so you had the school bus. We were the only Pee Wee football team that would go to away games on a bus. But what I remember was one, the seats. Like you would probably be in jail today because the seats weren't bolted down half the damn bus. And so you would hit a speed bump and the whole train would go fly in the air. It's like half our team probably was injured before we got to the game. But I remember one time you went through the McDonald's drive-through in Erlanger. And this was back in the 80s. So this was pre the little pole and the canopy. And I remember it because like you ordered like 80 Happy Meals or something. Like you saw this head pop out the window and look back and they're like, oh crap. What other stupid things that are, I guess, weird things happened that inadvertently helped you market that you did?
We did about everything you can think of. I networked all the time. Probably one of the great ones was I networked was when we went into Chicago once and we stayed at we went to a Denny's and the guy behind me was talking about boats and the next thing you know, I'm selling them a boat, a yacht, a 45-foot yacht that we had in our store.
Okay, we gotta get better than that. That's lame.
Well, that was lame.
That's lame. I mean, we got going from a school bus and a McDonald's drive-through.
Well,
to
I had this school bus for about 4 or 5 years. We hired. I hauled the Boy Scout.
Who drove it?
Me.
Were you licensed?
Hell no.
So
you don't have to be.
Well, hold on.
I don't think you have to be anyway.
You're telling me? I'm pretty sure there's a license to drive a school bus.
Commercial, probably.
If you're driving for school, yeah.
That's his justification. That's awesome.
So you did when you got the school bus. You never inquired about the legalities of driving it?
No, I just drove it.
That's awesome.
So I'm wondering all the kids I played with, like Scott Arnett, Ronnie Holmes, Brandon Exler, all their parents knew that you weren't even like, I'm sure there had to be a classification back then for like, hey, I got my license to drive school buses or drive a large vehicle.
Just drove it. Fire with Dad, baby.
Didn't that guy also give you a Carmen Ghia? Was that a different guy? Didn't somebody?
I bought the Carmen Ghia for Sam, and then Mom ran into a guy at the gas station, and she couldn't drive a stick.
That was the nose.
Yeah.
I remember that. But didn't that guy, there was some deal there I thought of. What else we got? What else did you do bizarre to market as a kid?
My whole life.
Whole life.
I mean, everything I did all, I mean, I probably could write a book on the things we did. I had sayings for everything. I would trash talk guys on the golf course. I played golf every day. I was always dressed like Payne Stewart.
Let's talk about golf. Trash talking guys on the golf course. Remember the time that I got a ticket driving to Perry Park.
You jerk.
And I got a ticket driving to Perry. Here's the funny part. Bryce Calvert called me today. I didn't get a chance to call him back. Bryce Calvert's behind me. Him and his brother Brennan are following me to Perry Park. So I'm scooting, right? Going around the road. Cop pulls me over. Like I decided I'm gonna outrun him. So I go on, I think, a back road, and I'm gonna outrun this cop. I didn't know it dead ended into a little city. So I wasn't that dumb to go like Dukes of Hazzard through a city. So I slowed down. Cop pulled me over. Bryce and Brennan pull over behind me. And so the cop looks back. He's like, who are these guys? I'm like, oh, they're with me. And he walks back and goes, you guys are with him? Yeah, you were following him. Yeah. So I can assume you were doing the same speed. They're like, oh, yeah. So, but anyways, I got a ticket. Bryce and Brennan got a ticket. Their mom hated me for like a year from that one, which it wasn't my fault. They were speeding too. I mean, I'm not to blame. But the funny part about it was golf was you got me out of the ticket. You said, if I'll get you out of it because you had a connection. I'll get you out of the ticket if you beat me in golf. And I beat you. I was unhooking his golf bag. Like you ever play golf? So you got the golf cart. I don't know about how good are you?
He's mini.
Oh, hold on, you're terrible.
He's Mr. Mini
No,
Play.
I crush it on mini golf.
Mini golf.
Yeah, mini
Okay,
golf.
but you're
Dominator on mini
So
golf. Hello.
when we're driving the cart around, he gets pissed when you horseplay. Like he does not like. He's serious, Mr. Golfer. I got my stupid Payne Stewart outfit on. I got my hat. You guys got matching hats, by the way. It's pretty cute of you guys. And I would unhook his bag so when you take off the golf, it would fall off, and he'd get off like, my woods are gonna get damaged. He'd go, oh, man, but I got in his head and beat him by a stroke. But anyways, back to golf. That was a long story for that thing. Back to golf, Dad. A lot of businesses nowadays like frown upon that. It's like they would I'd rather than be in there making calls versus you're on the golf course for 4 or 5 hours creating a relationship.
I got in trouble when my first job because
and this is water, by the way, disclaimer.
I was National Sales Guy of the Year, and I broke all their national sales records my first year in the business.
Now you're just flexing on us?
No. And so and the reason why was I played golf with everyone. I was in North Carolina. In North Carolina, you play golf. So, and I played tennis. So I played tennis and I played golf, and I was good at both of them. And so my customers would come in and they'd say, hey, by the way, you're good at golf. You're going to the country club with me and I'll play. And they get done, they'd buy a truckload of paint. Okay. And it was all about the relationship. So I never forget this one guy from the home office flies in. He's a national sales manager. And we drive up to the first guy's store, and the guy walks out and says, you got the sticks with you? I said, yeah. Looks at him, who are you? He looked at the guy and says, I'm national sales manager. Good. We'll take you back to the motel. We'll pick you up about 5 o'clock. We'll go have dinner. And the guy's going nuts. Okay. So we go play golf and get done. Next day, I take him to the airport to fly back to Chicago. He looks at me and he says,
Chicago or Chicago?
Chicago. Yeah. So anyway, we get back to the car, get to the airport. And he looks at me and he goes, open your trunk. So I open his trunk and he says, where's your manuals? I said, I don't need manuals. He says, all you got is your golf carts, golf clubs, and your tennis rackets. That's all I need. I said, I'm out here making sales on those two things. He says, let me tell you something. He's an old time type sales guy. You ever stop being number one, you're fired. He says, you're supposed to have your manuals in your car. I says, yeah, my sales would go down big time too.
This is relationships.
It's all about relationships.
Okay, so we know you lost. We know you golfed. We know you drove the school bus. I'll tell you one story. This was kind of funny. Was you always had gadgets? Always had this like the most bizarre gadgets sometimes. And I remember Camp Michaels, which by the way, I live near Camp Michaels somewhere because it's in Union, right?
Yeah, you only live about 3 miles from.
Okay, there's like a Boy Scout camp. I don't know if it's still there or not. But
yeah,
Camp Michaels back in the day, and there was a winter camp out that snowed so much and was so cold, everybody left. Well, they show up and everybody's leaving, and we've got tents that have no snow on them, and they're perfect. And they're like, what's going on here? Dad had run a contraption from his truck camper over to the tent with heat. Is that what it was?
Yeah, 80 degrees.
And so he was heating the tents.
80 degrees, guys. We're on Sunday morning. We were the only Boy Scout troop still there. I still have all the badges because they had like 400 badges made for all the kids, but there was nobody else there, so they gave us all 400 badges.
That's awesome.
But none of my boys went home. They were warm as could be.
Oh, we were warm.
Cozy, baby. 80 degrees. One guy came over. It had a big snowstorm, and all these guys' tents were first night had snow everywhere. Our tent had no snow. The guy looked at me and goes, "How come you have no snow in your tents?" I said, "I don't know.
I don't know.
That's awesome.
We're heated."
That's awesome.
Okay, so what I learned today is that apparently I can buy a school bus and let you drive it. If I buy a school bus, will you drive it
Oh,
today?
hell yeah, baby. I'm good at that stuff.
We're gonna get an America's Best Restaurant school bus. And if anybody has kids they want delivered places legally, this is your chauffeur. Apparently he's licensed. We don't know.
Oh, that's awesome.
What do you got, Luis? Do you have any questions?
He's laughing a lot.
You always
Do I have any questions? No, I mean, you told me some stories like you did the one with that you used to walk around. I think it was with a fishing pole with a bag of money.
That was one of the best of all time.
You remember? You told me that.
Yeah, that was the boat show. That was
That was a boat show back in 2005 or 6.
Yeah, that was funny. What that was I had saw a company at the RV show in Louisville. It was the manufacturer show, so only dealers were there, and everybody's walking around with this fishing pole. And I'm like, what is this? It's like free fishing pole. Go to this booth, and so we go down there, and here is literally a line of millionaire dudes that all own RV dealerships waiting in line for a free $5 fishing pole. Like you would have thought they would give away $100 bills. So they get their pole, and I'm talking to the guy, and he's like, "Matt, it's the best promotion we ever done." To walk me through it, he goes, "All I was trying to do was have people in other booths see the fishing pole and go, where'd you get that? Oh, that Coachman booth? Boom, Coachman booth." And so he's like, I knew people would respond to it. He's like, they cost me like $3 overseas. So I'm like, I'm stealing your idea. So I took it up a notch. I ordered the same thing. We were like 2,500 fishing poles. And my goal was to like, I had 3,200. So my goal was like 800 Saturday, 800 Sunday, and the next weekend. But I didn't know how good it would go. We actually ran out like the first weekend. But I had this vision. I was going to do the fishing pole and put a placard on it. I had this company print up a little foldable cardboard thing that said booth C3. That was our booth number. Free fishing pole, first 2,500 people, booth C3, starting at 11 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. And when they would get their pole, and they were gone like instantly the first, like 30 minutes the first Saturday.
Wow. Well, it's so funny. Sorry. I was going to add to it.
What are you going to add?
Chip Hart at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning when you had pronounced it doing that, there was a line all the way out the convention center for kids in line to
get the pole.
Wow. And Chip walks out and says, "What are all you kids in line for?" To get our free pole.
Yeah, they weren't in line for the show. Come to see us. So, but the caveat was I said, hey, by the way, as you're walking around the show, keep the placard on there. I should have called it a placard, but placard. I said, because I'm going to be walking out the money bag. And if I see you in the aisles, because the booth, this is kind of where it was a little suspect, was you couldn't go in other people's booths. But there's no rules that you can't walk down the aisles. Right. And I said, if you see me in the aisles and I see your thing on your pole, you get to reach the money bag. And I had $1,000 cash in there. I had 10s, 20s, 5s, 10s, 1s. And I would walk down the aisle and people would empty. I'll never forget, Herb Marine got so pissed at us because their booth emptied. Like everyone to the aisle. And they were reaching up, grabbing, like one guy got a 10. They're all freaking out. But that was a unique marketing ploy that we did that got a lot of attention. The other dealers all hated us. And I think 2 years later, the actual show, guy gave them the permission. And they did the exact promotion for the show because they thought it worked so well. But yeah, the dealers were all mad at me because they said I kind of went around the rules. Because people were walking through their booth with a giant Flapper Outdoors billboard in the booth.
Yeah, they're trying to sell a boat. Here comes some guy walking around a fishing pole, standing straight up with our name all over it.
Oh, it was funny.
That's awesome.
But cool. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think that's pretty much it.
Ready to hit the pool and hot tub tonight?
Why not?
Luis is in town because you guys are going to Buffalo tomorrow. I'm going Saturday. So this weekend, America's Best Restaurants is sponsoring the National Buffalo Wing Festival in Buffalo, New York. Bill Stadium, I think 40 or so Buffalo Wing restaurants are there. So you guys, Doug, Ryan, Austin, and David's driving there. So you guys are driving the van up there. David's driving his Tesla, which, by the way, this is a pretty side note. When I heard David was driving his Tesla and he's driving it from Buffalo to here for me here next week, I'm thinking, I got to get with David to let him know I'll reimburse him for the gas. And then I went, oh, it's a Tesla. Never mind. Not needed there. So I don't know what you
reimburse for the energy.
I don't know what you reimburse Tesla people. When they ever give them a battery, like some D batteries. Like a giant bag of batteries. That's awesome. That's awesome. Look at a bucket of batteries. So we'll be there. I'm flying out Saturday because Cole has football this weekend. So I'm going to fly out Saturday. But we're going to be at the National Buffalo Wing Festival, eating wings, filming episodes, and then we're in town next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, filming America's Best Restaurants locally. So it's Fire with Dad.
Fire dead,
Where's my
baby.
finger at? I was over here. There it is. We're out of here. Dan,
Cha-ching.
any closing words?
Cha-ching, make it happen, baby. Make it happen.
Make what happen?
Everything. Anything.
Everything. Anything.
If you're out selling, make it happen. Don't take no for an answer.
And if somebody owes you money, get a school bus.
Get a school
That's
bus
all I'm saying.
because
Get
you
Dan.
apparently do not need any kind of legal credibility or whatever license to drive a
That's the
school bus. See y'all.
Bye.